Yo, and what is going on YouTube, and welcome back for another Oathbreaker Deck Tech. Now, if you guys are loving the Oathbreaker format, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. If you guys are interested in MagiKids, the official charity of the Oathbreaker team, make sure to check out those links in the description down below. But guys, let's get right on into this. Now, this is one that I am especially excited about. It's a deck that I've kind of sat on for a good amount of time. It's actually going to be Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. Now, Teferi is very well known for his position in control, in Modern and Legacy, even in Standard for a long time. People really wanted to just move on to the rotation. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, for 3 white-blue, comes onto the battlefield with 4 loyalty and the following abilities. Now, it's +1, draw a card at the beginning of the next end step, untap 2 lands. -3, put target non-land permanent into its owner's library, third from the top. And -8, you get an emblem with whenever you draw a card, exile target permanent and opponent controls. If you get to that ultimate with Teferi, it's usually just kind of game over. Now, the signature spell for Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, is going to be Teferi's Protection. Now, this could also actually be Mystical Tutor. Maybe Mystical Tutor would be really good. Just an instant response to anything that's happening on the board to find your answers. But Teferi's Protection, you know, removing yourself from the game, your life total can't change. Very, very, very good. You know, the way this kind of works is you get Teferi, Hero of Dominaria up with the mana available to cast Teferi's Protection using his +1, and that kind of buys you additional turn after turn after turn until you can get to his ultimate. Now, that's not the only kind of win con of this deck, although it is kind of a part of it. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, pairs very well with a few additional planeswalkers. Narset, Parter of Veils. This is my foil promo from the pre-release. Narset is very well known for being used with Windfall. We have Baby Teferi, Time Raveler, 3 mana, and we have Jace, the Mind Sculptor. Another very good planeswalker for control decks, just to kind of brainstorm and help find our answers. Now, we have 2 creatures in this deck. Now, the one specifically we are trying to find is God Eternal Kefnet. Now, God Eternal Kefnet for 2 blue, a 4/5 flyer. We get to reveal the first card we draw each turn as we draw it. If it's an instant or sorcery, we can copy that card and cast it for 2 less than its original cast, and the original copy will go into our hand. Again, God Eternal Kefnet has the text of whenever it dies or is put into exile, you put it third from the top. Now, God Eternal Kefnet, we can reveal cards from the top and cast the copies. So that's very important to remember with this deck. Consecrated Sphinx, another one. Whenever an opponent draws a card, we get to draw 2 cards. A very good creature. It is a bit mana heavy, but in control decks, I found this is never really an issue. We can kind of hold things up until turn 6. Drop a Consecrated Sphinx and start drawing into our answers. Now, Approach of the Second Sun. Yes, guys, this is kind of the main win con of this deck, is digging for Approach of the Second Sun, casting it, and then you can cast the copy through God Eternal Kefnet, and then cast the original copy from your hand. Now, another way to do this is just casting Approach of the Second Sun, putting it 6 from the top, and digging down with Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, other planeswalkers, or additional effects in the deck. But this is primary win con of the deck. Now, we also have Time Warp and Nexus of Fate. Now, we're going to take additional turns because we want to draw additional cards and dig down for Approach of the Second Sun, and plus Teferi even more to get closer and closer to that ultimate. And again, these, with God Eternal Kefnet, we can cast the copies, take additional turns, put the copies in the original copies into our hand so we have those for our next turn. Now, we also have some digging effects. We have Brainstorm, Impulse, Mission Briefing, and Windfall. Now, these are all very good to kind of, dig through our deck to kind of find the answers to whatever the board state is looking like. Path Exile and Swords to Plowshare are our targeted removal cards. We have Terminus, Supreme Verdict, Time Wipe, and Cyclonic Wrath of God as our big board wipes. Again, we are trying to really control the board as much as possible until we can find those big win cons for this deck. Muddle the Mixture, more often than not, I am transmuting this to find the Scroll Rack. Mystical Tutor, again, this could be the signature spell of this deck. You just go and find your instant or sorcery, whatever you want, put it on the top. Sometimes it is Approach of the Second Sun. You go and you fetch that up when you're ready to win the game. Force of Will, negate Arcane Denial and Counterspell for the Counterspell package of this deck. We have Ristic Study. Again, we just want to draw cards, let them pay the one. Sensei's Divining Top and Scroll Rack. These are kind of our top of the deck manipulation cards. Very good for digging to finding whatever we might need to try to close out the game. Elixir of Immortality, a good way to gain some life and shuffle this card and our graveyard back into our library if we need to. And then the rest of this deck is going to be a lot of mana dorks: Arcane Signet, Talisman, Felwar Stone, Mindstone, Azoria Signet, and Wayfarer's Bauble. Again, these are just very good in the early turns to kind of ramp up into Teferi and just have a lot of mana available so we can kind of do our thing. But guys, that's going to be it for this Oathbreaker Deck Tech. If you guys are loving the Oathbreaker format, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. If you have any comments about deck techs you would like to see in the future, make sure to leave those down below. But anyway, guys, I will catch you all next time.